And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Gran Turismo 4. Assuming, there you go, YouTube decides to start the stream. So, as you can see right there, I have the Aston Martin that I purchased the other day. A very good car that I'm gonna use for one of the events that actually requires it. The idea for today is reaching a 50% completion, but I don't know if that's possible. I might be a little bit too optimistic about that. But yeah, starting with this one, the Premium Sports Launch. That is not even a championship, it's basically just separate individual races, starting with none other than Monaco. I don't know if the car will be enough when you don't put any upgrades on it. I will assume it is. We will see. I mean, this thing was able to compete against cars that apparently were a lot better, so we will see. So see, it says 131 points, but I beat a championship that gave me 200 points with this car, so I don't think that matters, but we will see, because one of the opponents here is the Pagani Sonda. That's a good car. I'm not worried about the Cizeta, even though it's supposed to be very fast. I think the corners, it's not gonna be able to do them properly. I should worry about myself probably first, about doing the corners. Let's see how it goes. It might need an upgrade after all, I mean, it's a possibility. And if it needs an upgrade, we'll put maybe a turbo or something. So far, is the first place a Mercedes? So these guys are being bottlenecked by the second place. Actually being completely bottlenecked. Because the Sonda and the Cizeta are way faster than whatever that green guy is. Hey, I'm mostly worried about the first place. Why is that the guy so far? I would expect that for what I've seen, it wouldn't be that fast of a car, but maybe I'm wrong. So the most important thing is that seems that even against these cars, the power of the Aston Martin is unfortunately not enough. So it might need an upgrade, after all. But it's interesting. Well, I could also bring the Cizeta myself, but it doesn't seem like this one is doing too hot either. Mostly because of the green car blocking him. Actually, is the green car the Aston Martin? It is. I'm pretty sure it is. And that's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm not winning like this. That's a very humbling. It's fine. We can put some upgrades to this car. No biggie. Yeah, that's a little bit brutal. I wasn't expecting it to be that brutal. UK is here. Oh, it's the very first shop. So, well, you cannot put a turbo actually. You will need to do an engine tune-up if you want speed. That's a very expensive one, but it should be an interesting bit. I mean, you can also do the racing chip and stuff like that, but this one will be the most noticeable, obviously. Yeah, because the first two stages don't seem that good. But at the same time, I don't know if this might be a mistake or not. Then again, at this point, I shouldn't really care about money. I don't think there's much of a reason to care. We'll see if with one upgrade it might or might not be enough. Also keep in mind that this is not a championship, so every single race is gonna have a different opponent. Well, a different set of opponents. So hey, maybe one of these attempts is gonna have very easy opponents. So yeah, it seems to be that Mercedes McLaren, the one that is very, very fast. And the Aston Martin that appears is not the same one I'm using, it's slightly different. That Mercedes is the problem. Apparently that guy is extremely fast. At least with that Aston Martin being on the lead, he will be blocked a little bit. Problem is that this track starts with the straight. Like the first thing you have is this straight, and it's easy to overtake assuming your car is faster. My car personally is definitely struggling to keep up with speed, particularly. Okay, and the Mercedes is already first place. That's the biggest problem. That guy is apparently on a different level, or at least it seems to be the case. These are also, by the way, relatively short races. Like, they aren't that many laps. In 4 laps in Monaco is nothing. So if this is not enough, we can also bring a Nitro. A Nitro can do wonders. Oh, I also didn't check how many points this was worth. For some reason I wasn't paying attention. I was paying more attention to the formation of the cars than the points. How many did it say? Well, who cares? This should at least be doable. Because the important thing is reaching that Mercedes. That Mercedes seems to very clearly be in a different level. Oh, wait, is that... I think that's that Mercedes that is in the Nürburgring... In the Nürburgring mission, I think. It's the one that has the automatic rear wing. Which... I don't know what I can do with that information, but... apparently it's that one. You can see that guy, same with the Cizeta that is chasing me, that they are simply faster when it comes to top speed. There is no doubt about that. I could be able to lessen the difference in places like this. In corners, basically. That wasn't a clean overtake, but it's okay. So here is basically a matter of locking. Because that guy is faster. It's also pretty interesting how... we're fine. How that Lotus Esprit from that European Championship was so overrated by the game, and these ones don't seem to rate. Well, I wish I saw the points. I don't know how many points this is worth after the upgrade. Though before the upgrade it was less than 200, even though it was clearly way more impossible than against the Lotus Esprit. This one doesn't seem like it will... you can forget about the second place ever. He will always be next to you. Especially in places like this. I guess it makes sense that you will require an upgrade since these are supposed to be extreme events, even though that word kinda doesn't have that much weight in this game, but they are supposed to be extreme. So the fact that you cannot really beat it with the factory settings of the car makes sense. Now, surprisingly, the Cizeta is getting closer. I will be tempted to use the Cizeta that I have if it wasn't for the fact that when I used it, the handling was so bad. There is no way that using it here is a better idea than using this car with that engine tune-up. There's absolutely no way. It's a shame though that in terms of money, I'm basically not making back the money by winning all the races in this event. Since first place is worth 12,000 credits and there is 5 races, which means that in total is 60,000, and this engine tune-up costed 80,000. So there is a 20,000 difference. Though the real question is who cares about the money at this point, you know? So I didn't realize that this car had that white thing on the left side. I'm assuming that's where you charge the fuel. It seems a little bit out of place, doesn't it? And for some reason I never noticed it before. Or did a disc fall from the sky and it landed here in this race? I really don't remember seeing that before. Well, it's pretty funny looking, I guess. Mostly because it looks so out of place. It ruins the perfect symmetry that otherwise the car has. Yes, even the exhaust are perfectly lined up to be symmetrical. But that thing is there standing out for no reason. And these cars are supposed to be elegant. Unless it was the engine tune-up. I don't think those things have visible changes on the car. Maybe it just always was there and I never really bothered to pay attention. It's sad, but the only way to know for me is to look at the VOD. I simply don't remember. At least that was a big... Okay, 37 points. Yeah, that's... whatever. It's certainly not... like, not easier than... well, sorry. It's not... fuck, what was I out to say? Well, basically the fact that it was easier to drive against the Lotus Esprit than against these guys. But I think it's relatively similar. After all, the Lotus Esprit I was able to overtake him, like, on the final lap, so I guess it's not that different. And it also seems that it's very... the opponents are very consistent. So in the previous race, what was driving up that number a lot is the Cizeta, because that car is very powerful. It just apparently just sucks to maneuver, but it's a very powerful car. So forget about the Mercedes or the Sonda. It was that car the culprit of driving up the number for the reward. Pretty funny. Oh, and the one that is in first place, isn't that an Aston Martin, or is it also the Mercedes? Well, this time it has a different color. No, I think it's an Aston Martin, actually. So I think a different one from the ones in the previous event. Yeah, that's an Aston Martin 100%. It seems that at least here, these guys will not be a problem whatsoever. Like already getting in first place after the first lap, especially in a track like this. Maybe a better idea would have been going for the Stage 2 engine tune-up. Might have been a little bit closer to a more, you know, to a better competition, but the problem of spending money on a tune-up that is lower than the maximum is that if you're gonna end up purchasing the maximum anyways, you just wasted money for no reason. Because on top of paying for the maximum, you had to pay for the other one that you're not gonna use. It's not like they stack up, they are mutually exclusive. Would be nice if they gave you a discount if you had a previous stage tune-up, but no, that's not the way it works. So yeah, I'm afraid we cannot have that, as nice as it will be. I also think the Mercedes is trying to overtake the Aston Martin, but as expected from this track, he's simply struggling and cannot do it. I think it's the red one, the Mercedes. It's hard to tell because now they are a little bit far. It's whatever. So the other set of events that I want to do today are the classic Japanese cars, which basically have a category for the 90s, the 80s and the 70s. The one on the 90s, I have a couple of cars that I can use, but for the 80s and the 70s, I will need to purchase a car, because I don't have any, and apparently the game also didn't bother to give me any. So far, unless you do a one-make race, the only other competition that could award me with that, and it could be possible, is the special condition events that are remaining. That's the only thing that could be. Outside of that, I gotta believe that no one cares about those cars. They just don't want me to have them. It is whatever. Now, this one being 5 laps is definitely longer than the previous one being 4. A little bit annoying, but it is what it is. And you know that yesterday I played Gran Turismo 3 for a bit, played an endurance, and it's crazy the difference in handling of this game and that game. I don't know if it's an emulation thing or if the game is legitimately like that, but it seems that there is an insane amount of input delay, so you basically have to anticipate the corners, but you also have to like very slowly tap the steering button to make sure that the steering is smooth. So I felt that that was a little bit weird. But I don't know if it's an input, like an emulator thing, or if the original game ran like that. Because in comparison, playing this game feels so smooth, you know? That's the thing. It feels extremely responsive to play this game. Well, obviously there are some cars that don't feel responsive because that's how they are supposed to be, but talking more in general. I'm glad there is no car damage, because that would have ended the race right there, despite being so little left. But it's also pretty interesting when it comes to the user interface and the whole way the game is structured, that Gran Turismo 3, at least to me, is so insanely inferior to this one. Like, the UI is something that I think it's one of the most visible things. Like, when you go to the garage, for example, and you see your list of cars, good luck finding the one you wanna find. Like, in comparison to this one, the garage there is terrible. Like, it's actually terrible. So yeah, there are a lot of little things like that it's easy to take them for granted, but in reality it's... The people that made this game did a very good job. Because they are so well done that you might not notice it at first. But you notice them when you go back to the previous game that doesn't have any of those. And you immediately notice their absence. We're back to Hong Kong. Hong Kong, I don't think it should give me trouble, especially with 5 laps. It should be more than clean. The guy that is in first place is a BMW, right? We have the Cizeta in second. Oh, my bad. You can see that the Cizeta starts shining when there is a straight. When there is not a straight though, well, you can already see what he does. Oh, I always confuse this one. I always think that's a corner to the left, but no, it's a corner to the right. This BMW M3... it's like it's gonna be my rival here. Well, the Cizeta just overtook thanks to me. You should be grateful. You wouldn't have overtaken otherwise. Well, I think that even without my help, the Cizeta will have eventually overtaken, so... whatever. But then, like... I don't even need to showcase it, how shitty the handling of the Cizeta is. Even the AI struggles. And I guess that's one thing that I really like about this game, that the AI actually follows what... like, most of the times they drive worse than the player. I think I haven't seen a single instance of the AI driving with a car better than what an average player could do. But aside from that, I like the fact that the limitations and overall characteristics of a car actually feel reflected into what the AI does. So for example, this is Zeta doing the corner so badly like that, yeah, you're probably gonna do that as well if you pick it. So obviously I don't know the technical aspects of it, but it feels like as if there was no rubber banding at all. I don't know if that's possible, but it really feels like the AI is actually controlling an in-game car instead of simply being like a performance, right? Like the game pretending that someone is racing you. Like this feels like it's actually simulating an AI controlling a car. So whether that's the case or not, I don't know. I obviously cannot access the game code. Well, and even if I could, I probably wouldn't understand it anyways. But it really feels like there is no rubber banding here. Like when a car is faster than you, it's simply because the car is faster than the one you're using, and the same applies in reverse. If they are slower than you, it's not that they are holding back, it's that they are simply less powerful cars. And I think that maybe I'm also wrong on this, but I think in Gran Turismo 3 that was not the case. Like, I'm almost sure that the game had rubber banding, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I played it yesterday, but since I completely dominated my rivals because it was an endurance, it wasn't very easy to tell. Like, it would have been easy to conclude that there also was no rubber banding simply because I left everyone behind because my car was better. Hey, I don't know if it reaches that far. Now I gotta give it up for the CZ for actually holding on for so long. If you look at the minimap, everyone else has been left behind by a very long shot, but the CZ is still there. I mean, it's at least at a visible distance. He won't win by any means. Like, forget about that. This guy won't win in 100 years, but at least it's the one that is remaining the closest to me, so that's cool. If I had to guess, it's most likely because of this long straight. This is what lets him stay close. But if I do corners like that, it won't be the only thing, that's for sure. Now, there is a very distinctive thing about Gran Turismo 3, and it's kind of the way the tracks look. Like, there is probably a different overall filter in the game that makes it look more... I don't even know what word to use, but kinda makes it look darker, I guess. So I wonder how a track like this, if it existed in Gran Turismo 3, how it would look. Because in that game, I mean, the Seattle track is similar in the sense that it's an urban track that also doesn't happen at broad daytime. But in terms of night tracks, the only one is a special stage, and I will say that the look of that track is very different from this one. the only way will be to somehow mod it into the game. But and since there are so many people that love Gran Turismo 3, I wonder if someone bothered to mod like all the content from this game into that game. I don't know how extremely hard that's gonna be, probably very. But I don't know. Also, I think the Cizeta had an accident. Yes, not only he's a lot further from me now, but also the guy in third place got closer. Like, if it was only that he's further from me, I could think, well, it's simply because I'm driving more and more. But no, I think it's because he had an accident. And it makes sense. I believe everything that the AI has to suffer because of that car. I fully 100% believe it. And I think it would have been unwinnable if I picked it. The same way the AI is not winning, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be winning either. But with the Aston Martin, I don't need anything. Okay, so the Mercedes is gonna be... Oh, and the Ford GT is there as well. Okay, seems that the Ford GT is driving the numbers up here. Unless it's this yellow guy. Which one of you is driving the numbers up? I don't think it's the... No, it has to be the Ford GT. The Ford GT is basically in a completely different level. Don't even know how he's allowed here. To the point that I don't think I might be able to beat him, but maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe I'm crying too early now. I think maybe I was crying a little bit too early. Okay, forget about what I say. So, do you really drive the numbers up that much? It went to 100. The previous one was 20 something. Well, actually even less than. I think it was 10. And this one... This one is so much higher, like 5 times higher. Actually, I think it was 20, the previous one. 10 was the second one. It's most likely the Ford GT, the one that is responsible for this, but god damn, dude. The yellow one, though, is trying to overtake some cars. I mean, the yellow car might be actually a similar situation to the Cizeta. And maybe it simply had very bad acceleration, because it seems very close to overtaking the Ford GT. But you saw that in the starting grid, he was very slow. And now, a different story. Also, why is this 4 laps? Like, this is even shorter than the previous 2 races, and somehow you get 1 less lap than them. I really don't know who is making the calculation for these races. Hard to tell. So yellow car, I think, is gonna overtake the Ford GT here. Yeah, he overtook. So will that make a difference? Is that car really that unbelievably fast? Well, we have 2 laps to find out. I mean, I'd rather not find out, but it's like we have no choice. And the main straight in this track is very long, so if his specialty is top speed, that could be a problem. I wonder what would have happened if he was the one that started in first place. Will I be losing this or will I still be winning? He's certainly approaching. He won't win the race, obviously, but not a... Well, actually he's overall losing speed, but I do think that he's especially fast on the main straight. So yeah, I guess that's the guy that drives the A-spec point so highly. And not the 4GT as I originally thought, though it could be that the 4GT contributes a little bit. Though without upgrades, the 4GT, I think that it reaches like 550 something HP. So in that regard, it's lower than mine. So I don't know if it drives it up that much. But yeah, this yellow guy seems to be a different story here. Well, I think that in this track it wouldn't have made a difference because all the distance that he closes in the straight, he will lose it in the corners. It was that TBR Cervera. Actually, now that I realize, the name for the TBR cars is supposed to represent a demon. One is called Cervera, the other one was called Griffith. That's pretty edgy, if that's the case, right? New York, 3 laps. Well, that's nice. That should be quite short. I wonder if that TBR is gonna be my reward here. Because it's certainly... Well, maybe it's the Mercedes. Hard to tell. Oh, we have a brother Vanquish in here. And here the numbers are also being quite high. But I don't think there was any... Like, aside from the 4GT, there isn't any particularly fast car here. Or is that TBR? Okay, that TBR might be the one, actually. The one that is now in 3rd place. But that wasn't the... Or maybe it was the same one. Is it also a Cervera? Kinda looks like it. How did I not read it? Was I really that distracted with the 4GT? I think that's another Cervera. You can tell that as soon as the straight starts, he says goodbye. And it is a problem in a track like this that has straights that are so long. Actually, it is a little bit of a problem. You can see that there are 2 straights back to back that are extremely long. So this thing can actually get a more sizable difference in a track like this than in high-speed ring. But in fact, it's pretty ironic that track is called high-speed ring, because it's not really very high speed at all. Huh. It's already approaching. Well, the thing is that in between these 2 straights, there is that very slow hairpin, but you can see that the Ford GT is also holding his own very well, you know. Wasn't able to reach him yet. Yeah, that's because it's pretty clear that my top speed is not that good. Oh, this... Okay. I remember that corner being a problem, but yeah, it's a real issue there. Like, multiple times that I do this race, even if I start braking very early, it's just not enough. Here what seems that might not be enough is reaching the Force GT. It's actually escaping very well. Well, keep in mind that he started in first place, which means that there was no one to slow him down at all in the entirety of the race. Well, if I overtake him here, I will be the one that will slow him down. Don't mind me. So, will he actually be faster than me in straights? Yeah, he is. He definitely is. Right, so the problem is that I cannot worry... I cannot worry only about the server, I also have to worry about the Force GT. So if these two guys on the final lap decide to be side to side, I might lose, because I cannot block both of them at the same time, you know? Well, we will see. Oh, look who we have here. I thought you were gonna take longer to get second place. Or maybe it's that the Force GT had an accident, because for a little bit the position said second. So maybe he went head first into the wall. Then this car is a monstrosity. This car is an actual monstrosity. I might legitimately not win this. I wouldn't mind if those two straights didn't exist, but they do exist. So all the time that he's gonna lose here, probably gonna end up recovering it later. Well, we have to use the rear view mirror no matter what. We gotta block. There is no other way to do this. So, problem here is that if I try too hard blocking, that's so scary. Funny, in this camera, braking actually, depending on the car, makes the car lean forward. It's pretty funny. I mean, the car will lean forward regardless, it's just that with that camera you see yourself leaning forward. Now, that car is a monster. Like, you could see it in the rear view mirror that it's like a shark is chasing you and he's very hungry. That's crazy. If that's the reward, that would be pretty cool. I would welcome that reward. What a monster. That was entertaining, at least. I like doing one corner in that camera too. Oh, actually get the Force GT. But isn't this car purchasable normally? It's like a little bit of a waste, right? Well, now I have two Force GT, the normal one and the racing one. So, I'm not gonna bother with this one yet. I wanna do, as I say, the Japanese ones. And for the only one that I can use with a car that I have, that will be with the Nismo, which is here. And this car might not be enough to win, but we gotta try. Because I'm assuming that the 90s car competition is gonna have a lot of very fast cars. Oh, never mind, you cannot even use it because it's not a production car. Damn, so that means that I need to use the Lancer Evo, the first car I purchased. That doesn't seem like a good idea, but it is my only choice. Because this one is not a... Like, none of these are production cars, obviously, they are rally cars. Well, I need to upgrade this thing. There is no way this thing is winning by itself. Well, it's been a long time. How are you doing, Mr. Lancer? In fact, I think I already tried this and it went horribly. Well, we will try. Look, if it goes horribly, we can install a turbo or two. I mean, after all, this is a turbo-oriented car anyway, so wouldn't be awkward to install one. That FTO is probably gonna kick my ass. Well, 55-point race doesn't sound that badly, but do keep in mind that this shit, yeah, has 88,000 mileage. So I don't think it's gonna be doing too well. Well, the start is looking promising, but we will see. So it will be pretty nice if this car ends up winning here, because it means that I didn't waste money when I purchased him. Although at this point it's been so long since I purchased him that it doesn't matter. Literally the first thing I purchased. Though if these races are possible, I wonder why I never tried it. Did I just automatically assume that this car wouldn't do well? Probably. And I assumed that because he was already struggling in very easy competitions. So I will assume that he will struggle here as well, but I guess no. I mean, it's not a bad car in terms of the model itself. It's a Lancer Evolution, of course it's a good car, but I do remember using it in competitions that were meant to be easy and he got left behind in no time. So this one, the FTO as expected, will be the guy to look out for. But as long as he's behind me, that should not be a problem. So I basically have the pressure of blocking in the entirety of the race, and especially in this straight. So it doesn't seem like the top speed is that much better, actually. Maybe it's just his performance in corner, contrary to what I thought. So that's also weird because this Lancer Evolution is a 4WD, so couldn't have issues, but I can't believe that a used car that I purchased without knowing anything is actually being useful for something. And I feel like I didn't even purchase upgrades on, or maybe I did purchase upgrades. That's one thing I cannot remember. Maybe it doesn't have any upgrades. I have a feeling that he was struggling so much that I had to purchase an upgrade. I don't know. Well, that means that I have to start thinking about the 80s and the 70s competition. Speaking of used cars, you can purchase used cars that are classic. So I could do that. It's just that with the mileage apparently affecting the performance of the car, I don't think that's a good idea. And money is not a problem, so it's not like buying a new one will be a problem. But it's also true that I'm probably only gonna use it for these two events, and that's the end of that, you know. So the mileage here is quite crazy. How much did I say? Yeah, almost 90,000. 88,000 of mileage. Obviously these are numbers that are set arbitrarily, but if you actually wanted to reach that mileage playing this game, I'm pretty sure that you will have to play for literal months, if not years, to reach that mileage. Obviously, it's supposed to mimic the fact that it was a car used by an actual person, which means that that mileage will be more or less believable, though I feel that even in real life that's a lot, dude. That's a very, very big number. That's no joke at all. It's whatever. Now, I do wonder if there is any opponent in this event that can show up that is actually gonna be a real problem. Because the FTO seems that like, he's obviously faster than the rest, but he's manageable. There will be one that won't be manageable. Because here, theoretically, you could find something like a Mazda RX-7 easily. Just that here it didn't show up. And seeing this car again is pretty funny. My little Lancer Evo. Well, and the reward is pretty shitty. Keep in mind that these are essentially the last events remaining if we ignore endurance and one make races. These are the last ones alongside with the real life circuit challenge from the extreme ones. Right, so we got another Lancer Evolution that is the exact same model that the one I'm using here. It's in second place. And here, despite the FTO not being an opponent, the point reward is the same one, so it might be that Toyota that is in the lead that might be a problem. We will see. Yeah, it most likely is. And since this is a rolling start, seems that reaching him will be a lot harder. Without a doubt. Four seconds and a little bit. May actually gain a difference here. I don't know. Seems that the best thing this car has is the acceleration. The top speed leaves a lot to be desired. At least I didn't lose time. I actually gained a little bit of time on that guy, but I don't know. Especially with how long this straight is, and that the car seems to be a lot faster. I have my doubts on this one. At least there are 3 more laps remaining, so there is definitely enough time to recover, but I don't know. Like, that guy seems to be doing his own individual race. Pretty much doing a time trial. That break wasn't necessary. Wasted a little bit of time. Yeah, I don't think this is happening, unfortunately. Like, I'm actually not gaining enough time for a race that is 4 laps long. If it were more laps, I probably would end up winning, but This is ironically not as many laps as I will need. I can still check if I can reach his slipstream, because at that point my chances of reaching him should be a lot better, but that's a shame. I overcommitted there because I really wanted to go fast, but I ended up losing time. Is that at this point, I don't think that giving an upgrade to this thing is a good idea. If anything, probably the best idea here will be to reroll the opponent until this guy doesn't show up. I feel like if instead of that guy it was the FTO, it will be the exact same story. The only difference with the previous race is that it was not a rolling star, but this one was. We'll also try without racing aids to see what happens. Though I am closer here, unfortunately not close enough to get slipstream, so I'm not so sure. And it is true that I'm closer than at the beginning, but with one more lap I will probably tell you that I will win. But yeah, with only this lap remaining, not so sure. No, it doesn't seem like it's happening. If I try to do something like a terrorist attack at the end, I don't think it will work either. He's actually way too far. Like 2 seconds is a lot. And unfortunately this is not a victory. That's annoying. Well, in that case, I'm gonna try 2 things. The first one is rerolling the opponent. And the other one is installing a turbo, a nitro, I guess. That one should guarantee the victory. No, in fact, I'm gonna do it right now. Because the thing about the nitro is that you can decide to not use it if you don't want to, but you can at least have it equipped. And it's also cheap, so no reason not to. Give me that. And yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Oh, I installed the intercooler. I didn't remember that. So this thing does have an upgrade, well, aside from the nitro that I should install, of course. Yeah. This should be enough. And it should be enough even without using it. So here, unless that infinity is the real issue here, I don't think those Honda are gonna be a problem. I think these Honda are supposed to be the designated shover cars, but the second one, that infinity guy might be the issue. Or is it actually the Honda? Maybe it's the Honda after all. Weird. I thought that was the designated shover car. Maybe not. I'm also not really using the nitro yet. In fact, I can probably win this without using the nitro. Especially since the second place Doesn't seem that it's as slow as the second place in the previous attempt. Okay, never mind, maybe it is. I wanted to get on his slip. Actually, I can still get on his slipstream, which is something that I couldn't do with the Lancer evolution that I was going against. I guess this second car is the one that is driving up the point reward most likely. I haven't used the nitro yet, and I don't think it will be necessary. That's the good thing about the nitro. If you don't want to use it, you don't need to. It's activated with a button. If you don't touch that button, it's like there was nothing in there. And the cool thing about the nitro is that it does not increase the point. Well, it does not decrease, rather, the points that you get from winning. So if you care about the A-spec points, the best way you can make a car more competitive is by adding a nitro. I did not need to use it at all here, despite it supposedly being worth more points, though it might also be because I got more practice with the track. That is most likely what's happening. Let's also keep in mind that these cars behind me are faster than me. Yeah, this one should be fine without even activating the nitrous ones. Well, it's still a good measure in case there is another race where winning might be a lot harder. Well, and also depending on what opponents you get, you know. This dim corner. No, but it's fine too. What happened with the second place? Did he get into an accident? Seems like he lost a lot of distance for absolutely no reason. I don't know, but I can tell you that I did not use the nitro even once. Well, ironically, with the price of the nitro, I actually won't recover by winning this. Only recover by winning 2 races. I mean, who cares? It's a very small amount. I guess here we are essentially just guaranteed to beat the rest of the event with no trouble. So about the 80s and the 70s, I wouldn't even know what car to use. It's only the half of the Motegi circuit. Just like in the previous one, I will refrain from using nitro unless I see that I cannot win. Maybe it's only that Toyota that is an issue. I wish he shows up again. You know how this game usually goes, you know? The moment you are ready for a fast opponent is the moment he stops appearing. The fear can be felt. This one is a Honda, right? This one here. Yeah, it is. I gotta wait until that Toyota decides to stop being a coward and show up again, but I don't know if he wants to. Probably not. Now, if these 90s races are already this slow, I wanna imagine the 80s and 70s. At least I want to believe that the lap count is gonna be lower. I wanna believe. More and more I'm thinking that the nitro was an overreaction. Maybe we're gonna make use of it in one of these. I mean, you still don't know what opponent will show up that might have not shown up yet, you know? Can always get very nasty if it wants to. Never count it out. Looking at the minimap, the difference is outstanding. And I feel like something that I wish was more the case in Gran Turismo, that either the opponents were static or that you could choose like the level of competition. So if you select like the highest setting, your opponents are gonna be the hardest one, like the fastest ones. And that there was an actual, you know, what's the word? An incentive to go for that. Well, actually, it doesn't even have to have an incentive. The incentive can just be the increased difficulty in itself, you know? I wouldn't mind. I mean, most games that have difficulty selection don't really have an incentive aside from, you know, just knowing that the challenge is gonna be more tough, you know? Some of them might unlock some special stuff, but not always. It only happens sometimes. So special stage, yeah, these are more or less the same duration, pretty much. The exact same car I have, just a little darker. Like instead of being white, I think it's gray. Yeah, pretty funny nonetheless. So I think it was quite necessary to include the night city stage to represent the Japanese drift stuff. And if you have a 90s car, that definitely is the way to go about it. Surprised that I haven't, well, there I overtook someone, but that all this time I really didn't overtake anyone despite already a little bit of time having passed. Okay, unless a Toyota shows up on the next event, I'm afraid we won't be able to test if the nitros will be enough against the Toyota. And this car here that is in first place is supposed to be the same one that I'm using. Keep in mind that I have the racing intercooler here, so going faster than him is actually justified. And that was a very bad corner. And so was that one then. Come on, dude, get a grip. The distance that I'm gaining is not particularly impressive, really. It's gonna be more than enough to win, of course. And again, not a single nitro usage, so it might have been a little bit overkill after all. And only one more race for the Toyota to show up, but my gut feeling says that he's not gonna show up. But yeah, not much to do there, I guess. I guess overall, of all the races I had, well, except for that one with the FTO, that one with the FTO was also quite close, all things considered. I actually needed to actively pay attention to him. But this one, it seems that the opponents are more or less like close to me, as you can see. So the Lancer Evo got overtaken from the second place by whatever that red car is. I'm assuming that just like half of the grid is a Honda. It's coming pretty quickly. Okay. Well, you have one more chance game to show me those cars. Because even if it's not the Toyota, I wouldn't mind a rematch against the FTO. Because the FTO only lost that race because it was a standing start. If we went against the FTO on a rolling start, I think he will win. Well, if it's Fuji Speedway, it's most likely gonna be a standing start, so even if they show up again, I'm most likely gonna win. Yeah, well, it showed up, but it showed up in 5th place. The standing start basically makes this car look like a prodigy, you know. I think that it's simply because of the turbo. I think that being a turbo-oriented car makes the acceleration better by default, though. Isn't the FTO also turbo-oriented? I don't know. Well, I guess that those 5,000 credits were the worst spent 5,000 credits so far. Spent on something to not even use them, because we could think about upgrades that were unnecessary, but at least an upgrade that is like, I don't know, a turbo kit or an engine tune-up or whatever it is, you will still use it as long as it's equipped. But this Nitro, I'm not using it because I don't need it. So yeah, probably the worst spent 5,000 credits in the game. At least it's only 5,000 credits, so it doesn't matter, but feel pretty silly. That also shows you how much the RNG of the opponents can cuck you. And again, the reason why I wish that they were either static or that you could choose if you wanted to go for the hardest opponents. Looks like this one will be even worse than the previous ones. I think that's because the FTO is still trying to overtake. You won't have enough time to do that. It's very cruel that they made you start second to last place. Then again, at that point I think that rather than that you can just blame that the AI is very bad at overtaking. Because I mean, I obviously started in last place and I overtook everyone on the start. But yeah, it's the AI, the one that is clearly failing here. And this race will probably go in a very different way if the FTO could overtake. But in fact, I think that maybe I'm wrong as I can tell from here, but trying to guess from the minimap, seems like the FTO is only now in 3rd place. I don't know. Well, I don't know. The truth is that the FTO is still not 2nd place even with the race about to be over, so I don't remember how the AI in the PS3 games is, but I do hope that at the very least it is more aggressive when it comes to overtaking. Otherwise you have situations like this where the race could have gone a very different way if only they knew how to overtake. Yeah. And as you will expect, I didn't use the nitro even once. Actually the FTO stayed in 5th place. But maybe he wasn't even the fastest one here. I will assume that if he really was that fast, he will at the very least be, well, not in 5th place, you know? Huh, weird. Well, whatever. At least, as I say before, this Lancer Evolution goal is chance to shine. So what's the reward? It's another car from the 90s, another Nismo, by the way. So I have 2 Nismo. I mean, this is a different model, I guess, but Unfortunately here I will need to purchase a car from the 80s and then one from the 70s. So for that we could go to an actual concessionary and do it manually. Very tempted to just go for a Hachiroku here. I mean, I could. Oh, actually it's not here. So you will have to buy it used, I guess. Alright, let's see if we find any Hachirokus on the historical showroom or historic, whatever, same shit. Well, you have it here. Very cheap as well. Problem is that this thing, well, it's the Levy, not the Treno, but whatever. Point is that, well, here is the Treno. The point is that I think it's a very bad car. Well, obviously, that's the point, that it's a car that sucks, but... The other chance could be this one, the Skyline. I mean, it's a Nissan, so I'll never say no to that. I could go for this. Apparently it's from 84, it said. Yeah. I mean, sure. Let's try. See how it goes. I mean, you know that I'm a Nissan enjoyer, and especially the Skyline series of models. This one is the R30. So 2 models apparently before the legendary R32. So let's see if it can actually compete, because maybe I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I mean, if those cars in the thumbnail are the ones I'm gonna compete against, I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked. Maybe this wasn't a smart decision. We will see though, maybe I'm just dooming. So you have a Lancer. You also have the Levin, a GTR for Toyota. Okay, we will have to see. Apparently that's gonna be a problem. But who is the one that is a problem here? Who is the troublemaker? The one in first place? Maybe? Yeah, the one in first place without it. That guy seems to indeed be the problem. Oh, I also forgot that when you buy a used car, you have to replace the oil, because it's supposed to be absolutely busted. I'm curious to see if I can win even without that. I don't think so though. Like, that first place is going wherever he wants. Doesn't seem like he can be stopped. There's also a track with a lot of corners, so will be possible to win, but I also don't want to waste time. You know? I feel that I should be able to win this, but this is also a track that I don't want to redo. So ideally, if my choice is, you know, not doing it in this attempt, I will have to exit now. I don't know, I just feel that it is winnable, but it might not be. No, I don't think it is. What car was that though? Was it the GTR? Before doing anything, like, I'm not even gonna install any upgrade, I'm just gonna change the oil. I could clean it as well, I guess. It's something that I forgot. About used cars, you have to do that. Change the oil. Yeah, change the oil. I go to oil change usually to change the oil. It usually works like that, yeah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like it really needs to be clean. But might as well, since we are here, you know. So I'm surprised by how detailed the model of the person is. Despite the fact that it's only... Well, technically the people are used for the pit stop as well, so I guess they wanted to make something look more acceptable. So they actually bother to model people instead of just cars. Because you know that when it comes to modeling, except for the track, when it comes to the small models, racing games are very easy to do. You just gotta worry about objects that are completely static the whole time, that they just move. Obviously, there are very small movements that you kinda have to simulate to not make it look stiff. But, yeah. Alright, so Sylvia Q... Well, actually, that MR2 might be the issue. Well, we will see. Yeah, that guy was the problem in the previous race, wasn't it? Well, that guy, I mean that model, wasn't the exact same car, but it is the exact same model, I think. At least he is not in first place yet. The keyword being yet. I can't believe that the Hachiroku is in first place here. Pretty impressive. Now I wonder exactly what changes in terms of performance with the oil. This is not something that I can immediately notice if the car is going faster or if it's handling better. It's something that I simply cannot notice. I just have no clue what the deal is. That being said, this should be a very easy victory, without a doubt. It's also interesting in terms of the style, how it seems like Japanese cars from the 80s have this shape, where essentially the highest part of the car is always in the center, instead of the back. You know, like cars have this shape that is kind of like the default shape that you imagine for toy cars. Then later they start having rear wings and also like more stuff on the rear in general. Now, surprisingly here, it's not that MR car that is being the fast one, it's the Hachiroku. Like, this Levin here is actually going very fast. That's quite impressive. Yeah, that guy seems to be the actual rival here. Come on, you're not supposed to be that fast. What's gotten into you? So also, 3 laps in this track with a car like this seems a little bit excessive if you ask me. It's fine though. So the thing is that in the historic showroom, unless I'm blind, it seems like the oldest car is always from the 80s, so if you wanna buy a car from the 70s, you actually cannot buy it used. And it seems that it's not very obvious which brands even sell cars from there. Doesn't seem very obvious. Though I also am not sure I understand why some brands seem to sell classic cars if you just go to them, but some other ones only have it available through the historic showrooms as a used car. Also, I didn't really pay that much attention. How much mileage does this thing have? I don't think I saw. Well, yeah. Basically, they are all in... Well, not all of them always, but for the most part, they are in between 80,000 and 90,000 miles. Well, assuming that's miles and not kilometers. That the game, I think, calls it mileage. Though mileage, I guess it's a generic term. You can probably also use it for kilometers, I guess. Well, in fact, I don't even know if you have a word for that. I don't think a word like, you know, kilometrage exists. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I'm not an English expert. But I'm surprised about this opponent. He's constantly chasing me without issues, but for some weird reason, he's never close to overtaking, and I'm not even blocking him. I know that the most likely answer is the same one as always, that simply because he has higher top speed, he gets advantage on the straights, but the moment a corner is involved, he loses it. But like, it's still weird. Also, 131 points from that, just like that. Guess it felt like it. That's a pretty long name. Hardtop, RSX Turbo, and all that shit. Seems like a lot to... When you could just say R30, like Skyline R30, and that's it. That's understandable enough. Surprisingly, the Hachiroku was the second place. Maybe it's super tune-up or something. Wait, Clubman Stage Route 5? So there are 2 ones in this game? Oh, there was only one. This one is probably close to an oval, right? Yeah, it's a simplified version of Stage 5. But basically it doesn't have Stage 11. That one is lacking for some reason. It just doesn't feel like being there. Unfortunately, this one is a rolling start, so the chances of winning will also be lower. In fact, I already cannot seem to get close to them. It doesn't seem like the first place is going too far. It's not gaining an insane advantage or anything like that. But I think that instead of worrying about the first place, I probably should worry about the other ones. I'm still only in 4th place, and these are 5 laps, so it's an interesting amount. But despite that, I feel like unless I do some magic, I'm not reaching the first place. Maybe this one will actually need a nitro after all. You can see that the distance right now is remaining exactly the same. And it's also a track that for the most part seems to be like it has a lot of straights. So seems that the top speed will be the most important characteristic here. At least now I have this guy's slipstream, so I can go faster, but not for long, I guess. It also seems that the first place will be overtaken by someone. That's weird. That wasn't very good. But I don't think I'm reaching those two. That's the biggest problem here. I don't think I'm reaching anyone. They look close, but look at the time difference, and they are definitely not close, and especially not if I don't have slipstream here. I mean, I might actually need to buy nitro. Hopefully this time I make use of it, unless these guys also decide to not show up ever again either. That will be annoying. But I can already see it happening. The matter of the fact here is that if I cannot get their slipstream before the end of this lap, I'm not winning. That's 100% guaranteed. No slipstream, no winning. I keep losing advantage here now. That's unfortunately not happening. Alright. They want me to bring the nitro, I'll bring the nitro. It's just annoying, dude. Like, I feel that now I'm gonna participate on this thing again and they are not showing up and I'm gonna win without it. We will see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. At least I can buy a nitro for the first time. Well, I actually made use of the nitro in some other occasions, but... Hey, come on, dude. Give me the win. Give me the win, but give me also some opponents to make it seem hard. Well, the points seem to keep increasing, but don't worry about the points. I will do the first lap without nitro to see how it goes. And then once we get into this same straight on the second lap, we're fully activating the nitro. That thing is gonna be activated quite a lot. Actually, I don't think I need to wait. I'm already being left behind, so I need to activate it. It's just that If I activate it in the main straight, I can fully make use of the advantage that the nitro is gonna give me. Simply because it's a straight, like you don't need to worry about going too fast. You will go as fast as you need to go. Pretty clear that if I don't use it, I'm not winning, so it's time. Also gotta keep in mind that it's not a particularly long race, so the amount of nitro should be enough to at least do what I need to do. But it's also true that the first place it's a little bit far. Hey, don't worry, I do have a lot of nitro. It will be enough to reach him. But some smooth handling here and there also will help. Problem is that I will immediately lose slipstream here. Well, actually not really. Or maybe, well, if I overtake here I will. It is what it is. Is that now the nitro, I mean obviously it's gonna make me go faster, but without the slipstream it won't be as fast as it could potentially be. I still should be able to reach this guy, no matter what. I mean, I'm already relatively close. Well, I'm almost at his slipstream even. And my nitro is still not halfway depleted, so we'll be able to do well. So that was... okay, yeah, that was a problem, unfortunately. That's because in that section I'm used to go a certain speed, and using the nitro made me go quite faster. But it's fine, I'm still here. In fact, on this straight I should be able to reach him using the nitro, of course. Okay. Just like that. Hey, that's the reason why the nitro is so busted in this game. It essentially doesn't add any performance points to your car, like the game still calculates it the same as if it wasn't there, and yet it's so useful to have it. Ideally, obviously, you want to have the nitro for every car, simply because of how cheap it is compared to how useful it is. Just that most of the times I'm trying to give myself a challenge. But in situations like this where your car has zero chances of winning the way it is, getting a nitro is a good idea, because you're not fundamentally changing the car, but you're getting that push you need to win, so... And the difference is not even that gigantic either. Like, you're probably gonna see that best lap was the one that, well, technically I didn't use the nitro in the entirety of it. If I use the nitro in every spot where I know it's gonna make me gain speed, the difference probably will be a lot bigger, but the difference is essentially usually 1 or 2 seconds when I only use it in the straight. But that small difference is the one that you need to win. You can already see that this guy is already very close to me. And if this was a time trial, he will already be ahead of me, but the nitro gives you that small push that you need to overtake. Once you overtake, you can stay in the lead. Because yeah, you can see here in that lap I didn't use the nitro a single time. And it was only like a second and a couple faster than the one track that I did use the nitro on. So essentially it's not an extremely big push, all things considered. But it's just enough to get the lead. And it's exactly what you need, basically. So we're going to Tsukuba. Well, it's also a small track, so 5 laps is not that long, but I will say that for the type of cars that compete here, these are still relatively long races, all things considered, you know? Like they could be a lot shorter, but no, they are not. They don't feel like being. So will I need the nitro here? Probably. Tsukuba is not a track that has very long straights at all. If you use the nitro, probably want to use it equally in multiple places. Well, I guess after this hairpin you just wanna use it. Like after this hairpin seems to be the right choice. Okay, I'm using it. But I'm even using it, it seemed like the car to my side was still going a little bit faster. Okay, here is another race that without the nitro you're not going anywhere. We gotta start using it more aggressively here. Wait, I just realized this car has a you know, that thing, it's called windscreen, right? Like the thing that you use to clean the water from the glass. Well, whatever you call that, it has one on the rear glass. I don't think I ever seen that. You always see it on the front one, but not that much on the rear, right? I guess it makes sense because if you use the rear view mirror, you will also not see anything if the rear glass is wet. So reaching this car is proving to be a little bit of a problem. And I am using nitro quite aggressively here. Yeah, the RH7 is very fast. Is it the same car from the previous race? I don't remember. But I'm here. I'm gonna use the nitro simply to be able to stay ahead of him. And I already used half of it, by the way. Half the nitro has been spent. There are still 2 more laps. At this point, even if I don't use the nitro, I very heavily doubt that this guy is gonna overtake at all. Like when I go for the 70s car, I'm probably just gonna preemptively purchase the nitro, guys. I most likely will need it. Because unless you purchase that one car that is clearly faster than every other one, you will be on the same place that the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place are right now, which is very far behind. I think I'm just preemptively purchasing the nitro. There doesn't seem to be any reason not to. I think I just will. $125 points. I like that number. It's essentially the R87 here that is the troublemaker. Even that very fast Hachiroku was not a problem, but this one... And it's not just the fact that he is part of the opponents, he starts in first place. That already makes it very annoying in itself. We're going to Apricot Hill. This one... Oh, well, a very similar card to the one I'm using. It's a standing start, so potentially easier to reach the lead and most likely stay in there, but... was a little bit of an illegal cut. But to be fair, that guy in front of me didn't let me pass. But not like he has to. At least this one, looking at these opponents here, seems to be a lot more balanced. It doesn't seem like there's any car that is obviously way faster than everyone else. And I still haven't used the nitro yet, so I'm also being able to keep up a little bit here. In fact, that car in front of me is pretty much almost the same model, but according to the game it isn't. It's like slightly different. He will overtake. But different enough to be faster, I guess. Oh, my bad. We're going a little bit too slow though. I don't know, will I need to use nitro for this? So far I'm holding off, but the guy in front, I don't think I can reach him naturally, you know? I mean, I'm at his slipstream, but he's obviously faster, so that doesn't mean too much. I feel like it might still be possible to overtake without nitro. Yeah, especially in corners like this where it clearly does them slower. Nice reshowing. But here you will have to vlog no matter what. Well, and I already failed the vlogging. God damn it. There is still one more lap. I mean, I will find it pretty nice to win this without nitroing. Oh, you're going a little bit too long on the... actually, that wasn't that bad. I thought that was an optimal racing line, but no. I am the one that's unoptimal. Well, to avoid getting overtaken at the end before the final straight, maybe I will need to use the nitro. I'll let you know if I do or not. I think that set of corners that appears after this one is probably gonna make them stay behind enough that it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, that's bad. Well, not if I do that. The idea is doing these corners faster than them, but like this, not gonna be much faster. Yeah, I don't need to use the nitro at all, actually. Will fully win without nitro, that's cool. It's, as you can clearly see, this is the difference between rolling start and standing start. If it wasn't this standing start like this, it wouldn't have been a victory, like not even close. But the standing start made it, well, easy. Or easier, at least. Just easier. Even if not significantly easier. No, I probably will say that it was significantly easier after all. But yeah. Would be nice if that's something you could choose to. So the same car as me is on the lead. But there's also another standing start, so very possible that I don't even need to worry about the nitro either. Not to mention this is Suzuka circuit, which means that the most likely scenario is that the multiple corners are gonna make the AI go slow. Well, unfortunately, my teammate already lost the lead pretty quickly. The one in first place is a Honda Integra, right? Doesn't seem like it's gonna be a problem though. I saw that there was a white car behind that really wanted to overtake other drivers and was struggling a lot. Like maybe that's the one that is making the aspect number go high. Though it's also true that this one that is in first place right now is holding on pretty well, so not sure. I might need to use the nitro here actually. I will. This guy is gonna escape otherwise. You can already see that difference in speed is crazy. It's actually not the guy from behind, it's this guy. This guy is going very fast. Alright. Time to use nitro. Suzuka circuit being 2 laps will be fine. I mean, even with the nitro, this guy is escaping. It seems like a very nasty difference here. Like I'm at his slipstream, but look at the amount of nitro I already spent. Legal overtake, nice. He actually had to brake a lot there for some reason. Yeah, that guy is not a show. He's definitely not a show. I mean, look at that. The difference in speed wasn't obvious. Okay, it's actually, I said a Honda Integra. That's a Nissan Silvia. I'm stupid, my bad. And like, not to mention that shape is extremely recognizable. I should feel ashamed. My bad. I don't know why I say Honda Integra. Well, I think some Honda have a relatively similar shape, but the thing is that the Nissan Silvia is very iconic. So, shame on me. That Silvia is very clearly... Though the third place is also not that far, all things considered. It might be because I'm holding this guy back, to be fair. That might be the reason why he's actually getting closer, but... Yeah, this guy is very fast. Well, or rather his car is the one that's fast. Ah, that was bad. Alright, I'll need to use the nitro again. At least I should have more than enough nitro to finally burn it until the end of the race. Like, you should start worrying if instead of a 2-lap race, this was like a 10-lap race. That's when you can start worrying, because the nitro is clearly not gonna be enough. So I'm most likely gonna overtake him back in the chicane again, most likely. The nitro should be enough. So I'm a little bit worried about this corner. This could be catastrophic. Well, especially if he pushes me out like that. Fucking asshole. But he still seems like he does the chicane extremely slowly. Regardless of what I do. You just cannot do that fast. You cannot reach me even if you want to. Alright. Another 125. But yeah, pretty nice, I guess. That's the power of the nitro. Never underestimate the nitro. I'm probably gonna do the same thing for the 70s car. But I don't know if I can even find one used. I don't think I can. Unless I get lucky that the catalog gets updated with the cars I need. Or this reward is one. This is another 80s. Oh wow, okay. It's a concept car, obviously. It's not real. Damn, that looks cool. Alright. So, a car from the 70s. Well, I do have one, but I already say that it was worthless. So... no, not this, sorry, my bad. I meant historic showroom. Okay, two showed up here. Oh wow, and this one seems fantastic. It seems like this would... Oh, wait, is it Japanese, though? I don't think it's Japanese. So I have no clue what brand this is at all. Okay, Shenzhen is the brand. I didn't even know that brand existed. You have the Nissan Bluebird hardtop. We're gonna go with another Nissan hard. We might. Well, with how cheap it is, might as well. I mean, at least differently from the other ones that... Well, the other one that I have that is a commute car, at least this looks like a sport car. So first thing first is changing the oil and cleaning it. We don't know who was there. And for how long we know because of the mileage, but yeah. Want to replace that thing as soon as possible. Yeah. And I'm also purchasing a nitro. Even if I end up not using it, I will need to. I need the guarantee. Because as I say, there is probably one car that the opponent is gonna use that is disproportionately way faster than anyone else. So yeah, when that happens, that will be the issue. But yeah, we're just purchasing a nitro. But you know what's the funny thing here? The nitro is gonna be more expensive than the car. That's the funny thing. It actually... Those 5,000s that the nitro is gonna cost are... Like, it's more money than the 4,000 and something that the car needed to be purchased. So pretty funny. But yeah. That should be the last Japanese event. Judging by the fact that it's B licensed, it shouldn't be that hard regardless, but... Better safe than sorry. I can definitely imagine there being a car like that one that was the first one in the historic showroom that is way faster than everyone else. At least we're also seeing this car that I'm using right now as an opponent. Do you know how I am? If I don't feel the need to use nitro, I won't use it. I won't press nitro until I feel, or rather I see that I definitely cannot win without it. For now though, it seems like smooth sailing. I guess it most likely will be smooth sailing. We also might have gotten lucky and... Oh, that purple car seems to be the fastest one. Okay. Oh, and it seems... Okay, no, that purple car is way faster than everyone. Holy shit. Well, see, it's what I told you. It's a matter of finding one of these assholes. That's all you need. Also pretty nice how the Nissan carry happened here. Like both for the 80s and the 70s we had a Nissan ready. This guy, I actually need, no, like here I legitimately need to use the nitro or I'm being left behind. I mean, I'm already being left behind and I'm using it, so you can imagine if I didn't. I mean, the alternative is blocking every single time. Nitro will be necessary. I mean, even with Nitro I cannot overtake him. Like, this guy is legitimately way faster than everyone. Damn, that's crazy, dude. That's even allowed. I might not win. I might actually not win. Alright, so here I'm gonna do something funny. I'm basically gonna do the entirety of the lap pressing the nitro. Like, basically I have my middle finger on the nitro and my index on the brakes. So that's very dangerous to do, honestly, but I have to. I'm not reaching him otherwise. It might just not be enough. It might actually not be enough. Fuck. Well, that guy is gonna be blacklisted so hard. The real issue is that my car cannot go faster than this. And the nitro essentially makes you achieve certain speeds faster, but it won't make you magically go faster than your car can physically handle. That's absolutely crazy though, that this shit is allowed. Alright. Shame that I couldn't see. Well, we can press retry and see whose asshole this is. It's a Nissan 240cc, the issue here. Okay. You are blacklisted. Next time I see you, and the worst part is that here he started in second to last place, so theoretically the best position it could be. Maybe I should have retried that race now that I think about it, because if he starts at the lead, you can forget about winning. Alright, he didn't appear here, but we will see if there is a worse guy. According to the game, one of these guys is... Oh, never mind, he's the 4th place. Isn't it? Wait, how did I not see him? Right, isn't he the 4th place? Am I blind? Because it is that one. 100% it's that one. How did I not recognize it? Well, that's weird, but... Look. We're fully going with this camera. There is no other way to do it. I'm not used to this camera, but I have to. I mean, at least the suggested gear is still here no matter what. It's very hard for me to measure distances with this thing. But I gotta. Like, I need to know at all times where these assholes are behind me. So unfortunately, that brake was very exaggerated. It also, might be a problem only for this track. Because this track is the one that has an insanely long straight. And the problem that my car has is that the top speed, as I mentioned, is... it's physically not higher than my opponent's. So the nitro is not gonna make magic. It's not gonna make the impossible possible. You know? But in fact here the best thing I can do is to avoid getting... Really? I thought I blocked. What's even the point of this camera if I cannot even block properly? Whatever, fuck this guy. So at least, if that previous one was the final lap, I think I would have won, right? Because I think I crossed the finish line first. And it's pretty crazy that even using the rear view mirror or even paying attention to it, apparently it was not enough to block the guy on the straight. Like, did I really miscalculated that badly? Is that really what happened? I still think this should be fine, probably. Because as long as I can cross the finish line before these guys, that should be way more than enough. The question, of course, is if I can do that, but I might not be able to, actually. I need to block. That part is very clear. Oh, actually, I didn't need to block. Damn, that's crazy, dude. Okay, so it's called differently. It is essentially the same model, but they decided to put all that additional shit before the actual name of the model. So yeah, the Fair Lady C, whatever. It's the 270 something. The one that denotes the actual name of the model. Like that 280C. That is the problem. Though, it's not like the other Skyline was much better. Like, the two of them were extremely fast. Well, I just hope that in the other tracks, like the other tracks are not gonna be that bad when it comes to straights. And since this is Autumn Ring, this is already not a track with straights, so it should be fine. Problem is if it is a rolling start. And that guy, well, these two guys are here too. Yeah, and it is a rolling start. That's essentially asking for trouble. Pretty much asking for trouble. Well, you already know that I have my finger on the nitro. Like here, I don't even need to look as a case-by-case scenario with these tracks. I already know I need the nitro. There is no need to further analyze it. And we already know that the troublemakers here are the yellow and the guy right in front of him. Those two are the issue. And unfortunately, the leader cannot seem to keep him behind him. Oh, no, never mind. He actually is keeping him behind. It's not gonna last too long, though. I could relax on the nitro here, at least. I think I have a... Oh, well, I don't know. Okay, maybe not. maybe actually not. You can imagine that even though this is not really the same as a one-make race, I feel like this is gonna be pretty similar to how one-make races are gonna go. Because the pool of Japanese cars from the 70s, I cannot imagine it being that high. So essentially you are dealing with a very small pool of cars. And with something like that, like if you pick the wrong one, this is essentially what's gonna happen. And as you can see, you can win it, but it's like quite a pain in the ass to win against cars that are very clearly in a completely different level than you. So I haven't really checked what the progression is. Like I actually don't know if I'm gonna get 50% today. I think I won't. At least not by clearing this Japanese car one. But maybe by doing one more event afterwards I will. Kinda doubt it. I don't think that one event will give you... Well, one single race will give you that much in the first place. But now that this track doesn't have straights almost at all, the difference is pretty clear. I mean, maybe if I hadn't used Nitro, I could have won too, because there was a 4-second difference with the second place, but yeah, you need these conditions to win comfortably. We're going back to Tsukuba. Yeah. I know that it's a Japanese track, but they really like Tsukuba, it seems. Okay, so we got another one of those GTR in here. Well, not only that, but unfortunately also another rolling start. Yeah, aside from that car, I don't know if the other ones are a problem. As much as I'm very tempted to start using the Nitro, it might not really be necessary. It really seems like that silver car is the only problematic one, and as long as he doesn't overtake, should be fine. Though at the same time, even the cars that are supposedly around my speed are still a little bit far from me. Well, I will use Nitro, I guess, because these are only 3 laps. Gotta keep that in mind too. You don't really have that much time to overtake at all, so might as well. My bad, sorry about that. Definitely didn't mean to do that. This here getting closer, but I'm still surprised because Pretty sure that these cars are supposed to be closer to my level, and yet if it wasn't for the nitro, I clearly wouldn't have reached them. I'm gonna stop using the nitro for now. Well, I guess that's the real test. If I don't use the nitro and they are behind me, can they reach me? Not sure. Well, it seems that they mostly maintain the distance, but and maybe that's precisely why I couldn't reach him. I couldn't reach them. Because we are going the same speed, not slower or faster. The night, well, I don't know, I feel like in some places he's going faster. But what's for sure is that without the nitro this will not have been possible. Not without this car, I mean with this car at least. Okay, well, in straights, well, it's probably because he has slipstream, but they are going fast. I don't know. Awkward race, I think, overall. Sure. I guess. I don't see why not. A shame to see credits this low, though. They make me feel poor. In theory, these are competitions that you should have already done, since they are competitions that only require the B license, so these are the ones that theoretically you will do first. So what do we have here? Doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary, right? Yeah, at this point I shouldn't even pay attention to that. And if it's nothing out of the ordinary, it most likely won't be enough without nitro. A track like this is also another one that doesn't have very fast sections. Like, you tend to have corners all around, so there could be a chance here. Here, I don't think I even need the nitro. Like, I'm pretty clearly gonna win without it. This part is probably the only one that I could get left behind, since it's the one that you can do more or less at full speed. It's not important enough. Out of the way. Well, it's a bit of both. Like, a bit of the track not really having any fast sections, and a bit of the fact that there are no opponents that are especially faster, you know. It's a bit of both. And the last race is in... where was it? I think it was Grand Valley, right? Is it the same version of Grand Valley as in the other event, or is it the same one? It will be a little bit lame if it's the same one. It's so easy though to go to pits unwillingly in a track like this. It's no wonder why in one of the... In fact, that guy went to pits unwillingly. It's what I say, like, it's super easy to do the corner wrong and basically just go to pits. It's not the first time that it happens with the AI. There was a race that I don't remember exactly in which event that it was a long race. But the thing is that the ones that entered pits didn't enter it because they wanted. They entered it because they couldn't help themselves. They just were doing racing lines that make them do that. Alright, so this is the final race. And with this we will complete the entirety of the Japanese events. Okay. It's a standing start at least. So most likely what happened with the Lancer Evo, where I got the Nitro and I ended up not using it, I basically just got very lucky, I guess. Well, lucky or unlucky depending on how you look at it. Because for example in this one, if you take the previous race and most likely this one as well as examples, there is no need to use the Nitro. So if the other races went exactly like this too, I might be thinking to myself, well, that was a waste of money. But no, it's because here I'm getting lucky that these are my opponents. So the same thing happened with the Lancer Evolution. Like basically, the opponents in the majority of races did not require anything. At least they didn't require a Nitro. But I purchased it precisely because on the first attempt of the first race, the opponents did not allow me to... Well, one opponent did not allow me to win without one. But then that opponent never showed up again, so... It's a similar situation here. This one, I don't wanna shints it, but I'm pretty sure I can win this one without using Nitro. Though I guess differently from the Lancer Evo, if this was with the Lancer Evo, I would have already overtaken these guys. Here I'm actually struggling to do so. Actually, yeah, I think that I'm gonna need the Nitro here. It's okay, I'm not gonna use it yet, but I probably will need to eventually use it though. Yeah, for sure, I'm not winning this without a nitro. Okay, forget about what I say then. Or rather, if you want to follow what I say, just keeping into account the previous race and not this one. This one, without the nitro, yeah, I don't think it will have happened. Most likely not. It doesn't seem like it. Because this distance seems very convincing now. It only seems convincing as I'm on the lead. I think that I lose a lot of speed on some of these corner sets. It just happens. Okay. This wouldn't have been a victory without the nitro. You can be 100% sure of that. Essentially, only the previous race was winnable without the nitro. Well, the Japanese events are done. I mean, I'm assuming that the reward here is obviously not gonna be anything out of the ordinary. Though, at least the cool thing, since these were 5 races, which means a total of 10,000 credits in prizes, I actually got my money back for what I invested in this car. Okay, so here you're giving me almost the same one. But this one is supposed to be GTR. It's supposed to be faster, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, so the all Japanese events are done. Unfortunately, that's not enough for 50%. And very close to 50%. Alright, I could do... I don't think it's gonna be enough. But I could do one event from this thing. Maybe. I feel like it won't be enough though. This is gonna be Tsukuba Circuit. Oh wait, hold up, I'm stupid. About to enter with this car. Surely a great idea. We gotta bring the Minolta here. So... last time that I used the Minolta, I used it without racing aids. So right now the racing aids are completely disabled. I feel like that's the only way to make these events interesting, because otherwise winning will be too easy, but I'll see, because maybe it's too much. It's because if it was another track that isn't Tsukuba, but Tsukuba is a problem when it comes to not having racing aids simply because of the amount of corners that you're gonna take. And here we have quite the opponents. Like we have the Mazda and the Sauber Mercedes. So it's gonna be hard to get used to fast speed again after the previous races. It is probably not a good idea. The only right thing is that these guys might pit stop before I do. Well, or rather that they are gonna pit stop and I won't. That's probably the only good thing, but... If they don't pit stop, I'm not winning this. The Racing 8s in the Minolta actually make it drivable. It's fine, I don't really care. So I like how the touring cars are essentially blocking the LMPs. I think that's the only reason why they weren't able to run far from me. Because the LMPs here are actually being blocked by the slower category cars. Though I'm surprised that with all this time they weren't able to overtake even once, dude. Okay, the Sauber is gonna overtake here, which is problems for me, basically. Now that the guy is gonna be gone completely. Like that guy, you won't see it again, basically. And the only thing that can save me is the fact that he might go to pits, and I won't. That's my only salvation. But I'm relying on something that I don't know if it's gonna happen. I probably shouldn't. Keep in mind that, as I say, nice drift. Tsukuba is a very short track. And the Mazda is probably gonna... No, the Mazda is still back there. So they did overtake, I think, one of the slower cars. I think the ironic thing is that this track has so many slow corners that maybe it might not even be enough for me. Like, I might need to pit stop at least once. And that's a problem. At that point there is no way I can win, basically. Yeah, I probably should restart the race with Racing Aids, because this doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. Just that I feel that doing races like this with Racing Aids are very boring, but at the same time this is not gonna happen at all. But yeah, I'm gonna retry but changing the settings, because I do like these opponents. Without Racing Aids, this is not very possible. So by default the 8s are 10, 10, 5, which is basically halfway through in all of them. So I'm pretty sure that there's only one that is truly necessary, but it's probably the traction control, and that's it. It doesn't matter. I mean, at least the previous race was quite doable without the driving aids, but this one, just with how slow the corners are, the racing aids essentially stop your car before it even has the chance to lose control. The result is that it makes you understeer a lot, but it's preferable. That being said, I'm also not really going that fast, you know? What the hell? It's a very dangerous overtake over there. Basically here, you can do some corners that you normally will never do. For example, that corner exit like that, you are not doing it. You know, regardless of all of that, you already know that the Sauber Mercedes is not a car that you can underestimate. It's not like it's super free to win against one of those. It's just that at the end of the day, it is free if they pit stop. You know? Because I won't simply because of the tires I'm using. I'm using hard tires. So the hard tires have a lot of durability. Like, a lot. Hey, that being said, this guy is not really going away too much from me. Still at 2 seconds. I guess it's only a matter of waiting. Yeah, I think if I actually tried to do this one without driving it actually would have been impossible. There is no way I would have been able to give the Sauber Mercedes at bay when I already cannot keep it at bay like this. I can keep it at bay, yes, but the fact is that I'm not really running away from him. And he's always there. So I really am curious to see what happens if I only leave traction control and I disable the other two. It feels like the one that does the magic is the traction control. Maybe I'm wrong. This guy still at 2 seconds. This would have been the ideal opponent in the World Championship, but unfortunately he didn't show up. Instead, what showed up was another Minolta. It's the one that decided to show up. The Sauber Mercedes didn't there. Also, another thing that I'm noticing is that in this track, the fuel usage is very low. That's because you are essentially braking for the majority of it. Most of the time, the acceleration is not being used at all. It's gonna be a 10-minute race also. I mean, compared to how long it could be with cars like this, it's not really that long. So I really want to know what the tire usage of the Mercedes is. I also, since he wasn't in the World Championship, I don't know how his tire usage is compared to the other competitors. I don't know if he can withstand for longer or he has to go faster. I mean, right now, it's like nothing should matter because I should be able to win this no matter what. yeah, still. The issue with situations like this is that one mistake can make you lose the lead very easily. It's actually crazy considering that race that I had like some days ago in Motegi, where I disabled the racing aids for this car. I won by quite a lot. But here, well, as I say, he has to pit stop most likely. I don't believe he's gonna do the whole race without pit stopping, considering that my rear tires are already lime green and I'm using hard tires instead of medium. Well, if I use medium tires, I will be needing to pit already, pretty much. That's interesting. So how much mileage does this thing have? And it's at more than 1,000 now. You know that since I want to use this thing to win the 24-hour Nürburgring thing, I probably should change the oil. So far it didn't happen that a car that I use gets like the oil like needing to be changed, except obviously for cars that I purchase in the used car showrooms. But cars on my own, like cars that I either earn by the Sauber is pitting in. Yeah. All right, so they need to pit in. I might need to pit in as well. In fact, I feel very tempted to pit in on this. Well, theoretically, it's not really necessary. And I also have to keep in mind that the Sauber is not the only opponent I'm going against. You have a Peugeot and a Mazda that are also LMP that are right behind me, so I shouldn't really do anything stupid yet. If you want to do something stupid, at least wait until they pit in. Okay. But the thing is that even if that guy pits in and I don't, without the racing aids I probably still wouldn't have won. Because the distance that we will be in by the time he pits in will be way more than what I can recover. So the Mazda pits in, but not the Peugeot. It will be interesting if that guy makes it to the end. Be quite amusing. But essentially with hard tires, I still haven't seen all the races, but I'm pretty sure that most of the races in this event are gonna be winnable without pitting. Okay, so the Peugeot, essentially everyone pits in, without exception. And this is probably gonna be one of the shortest tracks, so if everyone had to pit in here, I will assume that the same applies for every other race remaining in this event. And if that's the case, that means that I can essentially just incorporate that in my strategy if I decide to do the remaining ones by disabling the racing aids. I'm still unconvinced if it would have been enough in this particular case. I probably will have to save that for races that are in tracks that have like bigger straights, longer straights. Because this track is mostly corners and more corners. So most of the time it will be important to do the corners right, and without the driving aids it's very hard. So yeah, probably that. Though I'm also gonna say that if I unlock the shower, well, I should unlock the shower. Just that it's not gonna be with this race. Like, unfortunately, I will probably have to end this stream without having reached 50%. Like, I'm gonna be very close. Like, it's probably gonna be 1 or 2 more races to reach it, but it won't be today. That's a shame. I mean, I could do 1 more race, but not today. Today, since tomorrow is Monday, cannot be up too late. But I want to see at what percentage I am right now. Okay, so 1 more race wouldn't have been enough. It would have been 2 more races. But yeah, well, that's not gonna happen, so that's a shame, but it is what it is. So basically, my plans, because what's remaining is well, that event that you saw with real life circuits and the special condition events. Of the things that I wanna do, that's it. So tomorrow I'm gonna do the special condition events, the remaining ones. I might not be able to finish them all, since they probably will have more laps than the previous one. But I'll start, and then the idea will be to finish that real life circuit event, and then that will be it. Like, I will want to do the Formula Championship, but that will be a different story. But in any case, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one, and take care.